will perform, how many 90s people? And then the 2000s. And then we'll have something to eat, and then after we eat, we have some other business to do, but then at the end of this afternoon, this evening, we're going to be treated by a all too short performance by the current Young Americans. Now, let me just say one thing about that, having seen their rehearsal and having hung out with them a little bit, and I mean this with no disrespect to those of you and your talents, those of you from the different years that have been here. I mean, another successful alum is sitting here at the front table. See, if you get a TV show and you end up sitting with Milton, it works out pretty good. From Walker, Texas Ranger and fame, Nia Peoples is here. Hi, Nia. I still get nervous when I see you. This is a gentleman who you may not know, but you should know. He was really... Milton's partner in crime early. He was the first agent, and was the agent of the Young Americans for a long time, so we're glad to have Jim Moray here. Mr. Moray, thank you for being here. And one of the things that's great about the Young Americans today is that they know where they're rehearsing each week, as opposed to Queen Mary Boiler Room, Brea High School, a parking lot. It was a time when 70 million baby boomers became teenagers and young adults. The 60s began with bouffant hairstyles on women growing taller, while hair on men sporting crew cuts got shorter. During the mid-60s, miniskirts and hot pants were often worn with go-go moves. By the end of the decade, bell-bottom jeans, love beads, and afro hair was the style. Television saw Andy Griffith go from black and white to color. Star Trek was taking us to places where no man had ever gone before. A young, charismatic president inspired a nation of young people, and he challenged our imaginations to reach for the stars. While parents were struggling to hold on to their world and their way of life, changes from the conservative 50s could be seen, felt, and heard everywhere there were groups of teens and young adults, from fashion to music to politics. They called it the generation gap, and it seemed to be widening with each passing year. And that's when a 35-year-old music teacher in Southern California named Milton Anderson decided to do something and try to bridge that gap and show the world a different side of America's youth. In 1962, Milt Anderson, along with Twilight Zone's Rod Serling and another friend, Fred Zebb, pooled their money and gambled it all on one simple idea: put on a show at NBC Studios and leave the doors open to the hallway so people could pop in to see what was going on. One of those who popped in was the producer of the Bing Crosby Show, and he signed the Young Americans to appear on Bing's upcoming special.
I must say Yankee Doodle never got a better ride than that, did he? You know, these Young Americans, they have a really definite aim. According to their director, Mr. Milton Anderson, they tell me that their ambition, their big dream is to make a world tour.
And that began a 12-year run on many of the most popular television shows during the 60s and 70s, appearing with some of Hollywood's biggest stars. In just 5 short years, the Young Americans appeared before sellout crowds. They performed on dozens of television shows and recorded their first album with the legendary Johnny Mathis, with other successful albums that followed. In 1966, they performed the Oscar-winning song Born Free at the Academy Awards.
The Young Americans. They're clean-cut, well-groomed, neatly dressed, freshly scrubbed, and obviously a communist front.
Columbia Pictures produced a feature-length film in 1967 called Young Americans, winning the Oscar that year for Best Documentary. Tours to Australia and the Far East followed, where audiences lined up around the block in Tokyo, waiting since early morning to see the Young Americans that night. Back in Hollywood, ABC Television offered the group their own variety special. Charlie Brown met Hair. And guest starred Warren Green from the hit TV Western Bonanza.
Cast members from 1962, the ones who started it all. Here they are, the Young Americans.
You'll never get away, no, you'll never get away from the girl in the morning. I walk to Apollo and the Bay. Everywhere I go, Eli's coming. Eli's coming. Eli's coming, and he's coming to get me, mama. Oh, no, no, no.
From glen to glen and down the mountainside, the summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go, and I must die. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny.
This